In exploring the notion of Crocodile's return, could he rival the Yonko? The introduction sets the stage by defining Crocodile within the One Piece universe. Crocodile is a former warlord of the sea, known for his immense power and strategic acumen. He is a character whose past, deeply entwined with defeat and ambition, sets a backdrop for a potential resurgence. This sets the groundwork for discussing whether his return could position him as a rival to the Yonko, the four most powerful pirate captains in the series. The significance of Crocodile's return lies in its potential to disrupt the balance of power in the One Piece world. A re-emergence with new allies or powers could alter political dynamics among the pirates and global factions, possibly challenging the established hierarchy dominated by the Yonko. For instance, his failed attempt to conquer Alabasta, coupled with his later strategic alliances in Impel Down and Marineford, demonstrate his ability to pivot and adapt, qualities essential for someone vying for a Yonko-level status. One real-world application of this concept is the classic narrative of a fallen leader reclaiming power, akin to historical figures who have staged comebacks after falling from grace, like Napoleon Bonaparte's return from exile. Another example is seen in business, where leaders, once thought past their prime, return with innovative strategies to disrupt markets, similar to how Steve Jobs returned to Apple. Opinions supporting Crocodile's potential rise suggest that his extensive experience, strategic mind, and ability to learn from past failures equip him with the tools to challenge even the Yonko. However, this notion does face challenges. There are formidable figures already occupying Yonko positions, and Crocodile must surpass their established power and territories. Alternative viewpoints argue that Crocodile's past failures may hinder his ambitions. The reality of past defeats could weigh heavily, causing doubt in potential allies or serving as psychological barriers to his ultimate goals. Additionally, the ever-progressing strength of other key players could outpace any advancements Crocodile may make. This introduction lays the foundation for understanding how Crocodile's return could potentially shift power dynamics. It directly influences discussions on alliances, power struggles, and the evolving pirate era, all central themes in considering his rivalry against the Yonko. Understanding whether Crocodile could rival the Yonko requires a deeper dive into these facets, making his return not just a personal journey, but a pivotal narrative arc in the broader One Piece storyline. In the world of One Piece, the term Yonko refers to the four most powerful and influential pirate captains in the world, each commanding vast territories and formidable crews. Crocodile, once a powerful warlord of the sea, Shichibukai, is a character whose potential resurgence brings into question whether he could ascend to the level of a Yonko. Understanding the power dynamics between the Yonko and Crocodile is crucial in examining his potential rivaling of these pirate emperors. The significance of this topic lies in exploring the hierarchical structure within the world of One Piece. The Yonko are considered near the pinnacle of power, influencing the balance of the seas and threatening the very fabric of global order. Crocodile, with his cunning intelligence, strategic mind, and formidable Suna Suna no Mi, San Fruit abilities, possesses traits that could position him as a significant contender should he acquire more strength, alliances, or an influential following. A real-world parallel can be drawn with historical or fictional figures who have risen from relative obscurity to challenge established powers, such as Alexander the Great, or characters like Walter White from Breaking Bad, who use their cunning and resources to rise in power. Another example is the corporate world, where a previously content mid-sized company could merge or innovate dramatically to compete with industry giants, much like Crocodile could potentially strengthen his power base and challenge the Yonko. Supporters of this idea argue that Crocodile's re-emergence post-time skip shows a character who has learned from past failures, refocused on bigger goals, and gathered impressive allies like leaving Impel Down's prisoners. Critics, however, highlight the vast differences in sheer power, influence, and resources between a single pirate like Crocodile and the Yonko, suggesting that without substantial change or new allegiances, this leap remains speculative. The challenges faced by Crocodile in rivaling the Yonko involve more than just power levels. They encompass political acumen, the ability to inspire loyalty, and resistance against the world government's interests. This topic ties into broader discussions of alliances, ambition, and the shifting tides of power within the One Piece narrative, illustrating how history and character development can lead to unexpected shifts in power. As Crocodile's journey unfolds, his actions and decisions could redefine his status and influence, making his potential rivalry with the Yonko a compelling narrative exploration of growth, ambition, and the relentless pursuit of one's goals. Crocodile's evolution, from defeat to resurgence, refers to the dramatic transformation of the character Crocodile from the One Piece series, from a fallen warlord to a formidable force poised for a potential rise to Yonko status. This concept encapsulates the journey of growth and reinvention that Crocodile undergoes after his defeat in Alabasta, highlighting the significance of resilience and adaptability in a constantly shifting power landscape. Central to this narrative is Crocodile's strategic acumen and ability to learn from past failures, which positions him as a potential challenger to the Yonko, the series' apex powers. The importance of this point in relation to the main topic lies in illustrating the dynamic nature of power within the One Piece universe. Crocodile's evolution emphasizes that greatness is not solely determined by brute strength, but also by intelligence, ambition, and the ability to seize opportunities. This aligns closely with the overarching theme of Crocodile's return. Could he rival the Yonko? As it explores the possibility of him ascending to the ranks of the greatest pirate leaders, the Yonko themselves. For instance, Crocodile's role in the Marineford War demonstrates his ability to forge strategic alliances and impact significant events, even as a former defeated warlord. Similarly, his post-time skip resurrection and leadership in the New World serve as tangible examples of his resurgence. Through his actions in these scenarios, Crocodile showcases a keen understanding of the shifting tides of power, positioning him as a significant player once more. Support for the idea of Crocodile's potential resurgence often stems from his cunning nature and past demonstrations of capability, which suggest he might yet rival the Yonko's influence. His history of orchestrating complex plans and adapting to new situations lends credence to his ability to reinvent himself as a top-tier pirate leader. However, challenges and controversies exist, especially considering the formidable power held by the current Yonko. Critics might argue that Crocodile lacks the raw strength to truly contend with them. Additionally, the rapid evolution of other characters further complicates his quest for supremacy, raising doubts about his ability to keep pace with competing forces. Overall, Crocodile's evolution from defeat to resurgence is not just a story of individual growth, but also a testament to the fluidity of power in the One Piece world. This transformation directly influences and intersects with other characters' journeys and the series' broader narrative arc, heightening the intrigue around his potential to rival the Yonko. The concept of analyzing Crocodile's strengths and abilities revolves around evaluating the capabilities and potential of the character Sir Crocodile from the One Piece series to ascertain whether he could realistically rival the Yonko, the four most powerful pirate captains in the world. Crocodile, once a Shichibukai and former boss of Baroque Works, is known for his cunning intellect, strategic mind, and formidable devil fruit powers. Understanding his strengths and abilities is crucial, as it forms the groundwork for assessing his potential rise to Yonko status and his ability to stand against these four emperors of the sea. Crocodile's command over the Suna Suna no Mi, a Logia-type devil fruit, allows him to create, control, and transform into sand, granting him remarkable offensive and defensive capabilities. For instance, he can desiccate opponents by removing moisture, and his sandstorms can devastate entire landscapes. His keen tactical acumen, as witnessed during the Alabasta arc, highlights his ability to orchestrate complex plans and manipulate events to his advantage. These abilities emphasize his potential as a formidable contender against high-level adversaries. A significant illustration of Crocodile's prowess was his participation at the Battle of Marineford, where he fearlessly challenged Whitebeard, one of the Yonko, showing his audacity and competence in high-stakes scenarios. Another example lies in his escape from Impel Down, showcasing his resilience and resourcefulness, attributes necessary to confront and potentially rival the might of the Yonko. Supporters argue that Crocodile's survival instincts, coupled with his tactical mind, position him as a strong candidate for Yonko status, especially if he gains further strength or alliances. However, skeptics contend that his past defeats against characters like Luffy and the relatively limited combat interactions with the Yonko cast doubt on his current ability to match these emperors, known for their monstrous haki and overwhelming power. Analyzing Crocodile's strengths connects to broader discussions on power dynamics within the One Piece universe. It raises questions about what truly defines a Yonko beyond raw power. Strategy, influence, territory, and alliances all play vital roles. This analysis invites fans to rethink the nature of power and leadership in the world inhabited by these pirates. Moreover, it leaves room for exploration on how Crocodile could possibly adapt or evolve to meet the expectations and challenges posed by the title of Yonko, thus enriching the storyline and fan engagement with the series.